next one. I started to paint.
Who's there? I know you're lurking. I can feel you. Okay, now we got 2 people watching. Oh, back to 1. Twisted, I'm doing alright. How about yourself? You driving right now? Of course you're not driving, you're texting. Duh. I do think I'm going to schedule an event soon because I got to start worrying about making shocks for this. And so do a how-to live event on how to... Oh, cool. You get to mess with him, right? If you don't know, you know, that's it. That's the whole thing. When you get a trainee, you got to mess with their head some. Tell them the story about the time you almost hit Bigfoot. Or the time some fat guy in a sled pulled by reindeer pulled out in front of you and you almost hit him. Like I was saying, I'm gonna you got to. That's the whole thing. You mess with him. And when he gets a trainee, he messes with that trainee, and then so on and so forth. I'm pretty sure you're the person who trained you messed with you, right? Hey John, how you doing? This is more or less talk. Do whatever you want to do. Chat. Ask me what I do, how I do, why I do it, whichever. I'm going to do a live event probably soon. It's a vicious circle, isn't it, Twisted? Yeah, I heard you got in trouble. What'd you do anyway? John was a bad boy. Good question. Slam? Anyway, John, I'm going to do a live event. I just don't know when. I'll schedule it first. Because at some point, I'm going to have to build coilovers for this 32. It's a 5-window coupe. And I think trying to see if I got one here. Call this mic. There it is. This is my experimental completed junk pile. Let's see if I can show y'all this. This is one of my coilovers. It's been scratch built. Hold on. It's been scratch built. Now, I'll take it apart. Twisted Clown, do you smoke cigarettes? I think you do, don't you? Alright. Okay. Here's why I'm asking. Because I found out. Okay, this is part of it. I'm trying to get it up there where y'all can see it. If y'all use a big lighter, I got something I want to show you. Alright, I see I got to do some work on this. There's the parts to it. I want to show you something. Take those things apart. Where did I put it? There's actually 2 springs in there. You know that, right? Anyway, there's one underneath the trigger, the thumb thing. There's another one underneath the where the flame comes out. And if you can get that thing out of there where the flame comes out, that looks like the top part of a shock. I can't find mine anywhere. I only got like 1,000 sets. Where did I put them? But I want to use those for my springs. But I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make these coilovers that I make. And I'm going to do it live. No. The flint, I don't think there's much use for. But if you take the the steel, if you take those buttons off of it, if you take those buttons, the two ends, you take the center part, that would make a great round, like a K&N or, you know, the round air cleaners that go on top of carburetors. There's a spring underneath the flame too. That's good for front shocks. The flame underneath the spring, or the spring underneath the flint, is good for front shocks. The spring underneath where the fire comes out, where the butane spews out, is good for back shocks. There is a little tube in there that actually looks like this. Let's see if I got it centered. Looks like that over that spring that is, well, could be used for that. And the striker, or the steel, that's what they call it. If you take the wheels off and, you know, take off and just keep that flint part of it, the round part, you can use that to make the round air cleaners. I'll have to show y'all everything I do with those things. The flint, I don't think there's really much you can do with it. At least nothing I can think of. I hate it when I can't find something. Found it. Okay. Like this right here. The flint wheel. You take these two sides off and you have that. And if you do it right, I'm still experimenting with it, so you can actually make round air cleaners for the top of carburetors. Just paint in there black or whatever. Use the flint in a Ziploc. What does that do? Here's the one under the flint. Perfect for front coilovers. Oh, Zippo. Okay. Alright. I don't have a Zippo. Okay, there's your front coilovers. That's the one under the flint. This is the one. Get one out of here I haven't cut up. This is the one under where the flame comes out. Hey, pappies. But what you do is you'll have to work with it a little and stretch it out to get that center part right there, and then you cut it however long you want. You cut it off fair to, you know, make less there. And that's that. And then the other part I was talking about is this right here. That thing right there. That can be used for back springs. I think it would work great. See, it says perfect. You get like 2 springs and you get like 4 different things you can use on all the cars out of a big glider. Hey Poppy, how you doing? But that's going to be on a how-to video, and at the rate that I'm going right now, it'll probably be soon because this thing is getting closer and closer to being painted. Chassis for the 32 5-window coupe. Of course, if I knew how to build out a box, I'd probably be already done with it. Huh. They would make neat ones, wouldn't they? They'd be something like that, wouldn't it? If you cut them down right. See it? The 032 fuel tank? That would be great. I'll have to remember that next time I scratch build a chassis. I haven't it's a foreign word that somebody told me that you only use the stuff that's in the box. That's all I know about building. It's foreign to me too. Of course, anybody who knows me and sees my channels and watches my videos know I have no freaking idea what out of the box means. I've tried that out of box thing and it didn't work. I'm going to eventually build me a rat rod. Of course, I'm trying to build, I got to wait for that guy who's building the, he's calling it the Bibster. It's a Fox body Mustang that he's cut up, chopped, cut in half, put back together. Scratch building, he's putting a tube chassis in it, scratch building everything. It's a 32, it's not a 32, duh. It's a Ford Fox body Mustang, whatever that is. And I'm going to copy build it as soon as I can find a Ford Fox body Mustang. Whatever the hell that is. But I got a feeling it's like them 84 Mustangs that looked like everything else on the road, and they called it a Mustang, but it was an insult. In my opinion, it was. you want to see what I'm talking about, the channel name is the Fab Forum. And some of the things he does is just wicked cool. For what I've seen so far. What's the fun in that? Building out a box? I don't know. Maybe I should try it one day. Somebody smoking skunk weed. Marijuana. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's back when they all looked the same. Back when they were starting to make everything look the same. John, I did when I was a kid. Because I didn't know nobody. I didn't even paint them back when I was a kid. Of course, back when I was building, we didn't have all the crap that we got today. I didn't even have a knife. I took the parts and twisted them off the tree and glued them together. Didn't even paint them. Then I got better. Yes, sir, I do, but I'm thinking about getting rid of it. Facebook and opening one just for the boneyard here. I'm going to try a paint job on this when I get ready to paint it. Yeah, Pappy, you're probably right. I have noticed that I got to use these right here sometimes. These here. On some of these because I can't quite see what I'm doing. It's that old age creeping up on you. Am I back? Yeah, Poppy, I know you mean, I know you got to be joking about that because you've probably been in it as long as most of us. But there's a lot of young builders out there, and I hate to say this, that want to jump in, feet first, and do what we've been doing for years, and they don't learn the basics. And that's where they mess up. I'm sorry to say, but if you don't learn the basics first, you might as well forget about building a model until you learn how to do the basics. I hate to scratch build, John, you know that. And maybe I'll buy a model and open it up and do it out of box, but do it online, live feed. And just do the basics. I know, there was one guy on here, he's still on here, I'm not going to say who it is. But he pretty much jumped in feet first. And he wasn't getting good results. And he finally backed up, started doing the basics, and now he's turned out some good looking models. So I guess you got to find your niche. But he's finally turning them out, and they're starting to look good. Yeah, I had to pick a day, set up a live feed on that day, call it Back to Basics, and do it one day a week, and that's it. And just build a model out of the box. Yes, there's that word again. You know, and show how we used to do it. That's true, John. You'd be surprised how much you know until you start teaching somebody else, and it's like, wow. It becomes automatic with us, I guess. It's like one basic thing that I forgot. I used to do it all the time, without fail. And when I did the 48-hour build with Chevy Cheeseburger, I realized that there were basic things that I used to do automatically that I wasn't doing. And I had forgotten some of the basic stuff, I guess. I don't know. I just did. Now I go back and do them all. It's like I used to sand my primers. Light coat, let it dry, wet sand it, alcohol it, light coat until I got the whole thing covered. In between each coat, I'd sand it. And that's something I had gotten away from. I don't know how long this is going to last because I got a bad connection. Do any of y'all build competition? Godfather. El Duce. I'm a competition builder. Always have been. Well, not always. Back when I got back into it, back in the 80s and 90s, I started competition building. And I think it was Mr. Mini Dreams today was talking about how you get some contests you go to and people don't want to share their knowledge. it wouldn't tell you, you know, how to improve yourself. Or they wouldn't be critical and give you the lesson that you really needed. Now, I had a guy, me and him were like water or gas and fire. We couldn't be in the same building together. And this man used to just rake my models over the coals, man. And I mean, this guy just literally tore me a new one every time he saw my cars. Whew. He was terrible. But I got to finally shut him up when I started beating him. Ooh. I want to see that. I gotta see that. Bernie? I guess I said that right. Like Weekends at Bernie's? John. It's gonna be dropped down low, isn't it? Can't wait to see that one done, man. What kid is it? Hey, Tim. Who made the kit, Bernie? Our godfather? No, I'm not joining any. I didn't join. I joined one build off this year because I was trying to catch up on all the other things I got going. Well, Lindbergh and AMT are the same people. Was it an older kit? Oh, hi Tim. I thought I said it a while ago, but I can't remember. That could be it then. That's why. I mean, Revell used to be terrible, but I'm sorry, people still complain about him, but I have no complaints. Revell has stepped up big time. I mean, I don't care. AMT's still AMT. And of course, we all know about Johan kits. Those cars were nightmares from the word go. Maybe I ought to get me a big rig and get in on it. When's it start? Or has it already started? I'll tell you what, Johan kits were okay. But by the time you got through clearing off all the flash, it only weighed half as much. I might get in on that. I might get in on that. Try that out for size. Let's see, I'd have to run air hose and brake lines. Brake lines are air hoses, silly. Gas, fuel lines, gas lines. I don't know how to detail one. Yes, they are. Later, Tim. A friend of mine got a hold of some old Revell kits once, and you couldn't build them. They were so brittle. They would just. What happened is he got them from a guy who kept them stored in the attic. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And cool, I'll be there, Tim. And it made the plastic so brittle you couldn't do anything with it. Huh. I ended up getting hold of one of them, and it was so old. It was the ones where the wheels. The one where the wheels actually had to be glued together. Oh, Johan kits? You have never opened one, have you? Let's see. First off, a Johan kit is nothing but a body, interior, 4 wheels, and a chassis. No motor. The motors weren't. There was no motors. In the ones I had, there was no motors in them. All they had was the body, the chassis, and the interior. That was it. No, it was a Johan. Used to have a Merlin. Unopened in the box. eBay, $150. I could have sold it, but I don't have it anymore. I had the Chrysler Turbo car once. I guess I never. I don't know. Maybe it was just the ones I had. Of course, you can't find them anymore unless you get on eBay, I guess. Or can you find them anymore? I know where one of them is sitting for real. 624.5 Mustang. Original everything, even the spark plugs in it. She never drove it. Or she drove it very, very, very often. Straight six. And she wouldn't sell it for nothing. I imagine now her sons will probably sell it. She's probably dead now. Can you even find them anymore, Johans? I do know this. There for a while, everybody seemed to have one on the YouTube. They were building them those Chrysler turbines from Johan. I was starting to think maybe they were coming back. Mavericks. There was a little hot rod, wasn't it? Oh yeah. I've never had a Mobius. I've always wondered. I've seen people on here build them. And is Mobius a separate company, or is it a sub-company, a subsidiary of another model car company? Like Limburg and AMT, Monogram, and Revell. Separate company. I may go looking to get me a big rig week after next. Yeah, I've seen the price on them. gotten one yet. I haven't wanted to let go of that money. Yeah, John, didn't you show us your stash once? You were doing a live feed, I think, and you showed us your stash. One whole room in your basement. So, that was some of it? See, that's why nobody down here's got any hot kits to buy, because John's got them all in his basement. I think he's trying to corner the market. He's got a monopoly on models. Good thing you're not down here, because you get in trouble for that. Trying to corner the market on model cars. You know they got antitrust things down here. I would love to come up there and go through them and let me take some of them home. I'd love to go through your old stuff. So if I bring a U-Haul there, could you let me just load it up? You know? According to what you got and what I've seen, a U-Haul wouldn't make a dent in it. Shit, I wish I did. Definition of a glue bomb was my first kit. My first model was a German officer's car. It was burgundy, and I think it was either Rolls Royce or Mercedes Benz. It had the old crank engine in the front. I would love to find that one. Didn't even have a knife. Didn't even really have anything else. You know, I just glued it together and that was it. Made one mistake on it. NBC, that was an oldie. Good fellas, it's been an hour. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna try to get this ready for making my coilovers, and I'll post it. Give y'all a couple of days to get ready for it when I'm ready. So I'll try to do it on the weekend. I just got to figure out what day to do it on the weekend. So, I'm going to. Alright, you guys, well, y'all have a good one. You're going to go for a ride. Hang on.